It did. When I stopped singing, I was probably a what most would consider a full lyric tenor. And so, 12 years of really not doing much singing at all. Um, Basically, the only singing I did was in church. Um, so that time I really look back on now as kind of a blessing, so to speak, in that with the repertoire that I'm singing now, I don't have, that's 12 years less of wear and tear on the voice that I would have had I continued singing and kind of pushed through that period where, the fun, it was no longer fun for me. Had I pushed through that, I think of the chances that I could have continued to sing with some of the bad habits I might have had as a young singer, technical habits that had developed. That time off kind of gave my body time to release that muscle memory of those habits. Um, so when I came back to singing, it was really um, kind of learning to walk again, and to be able to do so without the hindrance of of the vocal problems that I might have had hindering me, um, or not necessarily vocal problems, but just small little technical glitches that um, get in the way from sometimes, whether it's dealing with going through the different um, points of the voice, dealing with the passaggio and different things of that nature. As a young tenor, I did have some issues with that, but as the voice changed um, over those years, the voice was allowed to mature. Um, I think more naturally. Um, so when I came back, it was the voice had changed significantly from what I'd remembered. Um, and so when I started kind of singing on my own here at home, I eventually got to the point to where I knew I needed to get another set of ears to kind of help me through that. And I began searching for a teacher who I found in Memphis, who also was a protege of Richard Miller's. Um, and I began working with her and worked with her for about a year and a half before she finally said, I think you're ready to get back out there. I love teaching you lessons, but you need to get out and do something with this voice. And so I began that slow trudge of trying to get in front of anyone and everyone who would listen, sending out recordings, sending out audition requests, um, learning how to utilize social media um, to connect with other people in the industry, reconnecting with old friends and colleagues that I'd worked with in the past to kind of um, let them know that, hey, I'm back. If you hear anything that you think might be good for me, let me know. Um, and all of those things um, really kind of helped me get to the path that I'm on today. It wasn't easy coming back, um, because I came back as a person of size, which makes things more difficult. So when I did make that jump back into it, I had to deal a lot with a lot of people telling me, "Oh, no one's going to hire you. You need to, you have to lose weight. You're going to have to lose at least." I had general directors tell me, "Hey, I won't give you a live audition until you lose at least 50 pounds." I had other singers telling me that, "Oh, no one's going to hire you. You're they're going to think you're too big. They're not going to hire you." Oh, believe me, I know because they're not hiring me. And things of that nature. So I had to kind of learn to shut out a lot of the noise and put the blinders on, and do the work. And the work was making sure that I was as complete an artist as I could be at this point where I am now. And to present myself in a manner that I think would make it difficult for most people to say no. Um, when I go into an audition, it's not to me an audition, it's a performance. And I treat the audition just as I would a performance in front of a live audience, a paying audience. And my goal is to leave it all in the room when I get in there. I had to learn to not be afraid to, because a lot of the information I was getting, it would cause one to want to shrink and kind of, but I had to not to learn to not be afraid to take up space when I went into a room. Um, when I walked into a room, this was now my space, and I'm allowing you to be in it.